Hearst Castle, William Randolph Hearst's Palace of Excess. High on a misty California hill sits a $10 billion fantasy bigger than any royal palace. Stolen Renaissance art, Roman temples, a private zoo, and endless Hollywood parties. But one foggy weekend aboard his yacht birthed a murder rumor so explosive that newspapers, studios, and millionaires worked together to bury it. These walls still whisper the truth. High on a remote California hill stands a palace that looks like it was stolen from Europe. Its towers pierce the mist like a cathedral built for one man's ego. This is Hearst Castle. William Randolph Hearst's Palace of Excess. Hearst didn't inherit just money. He inherited an empire and turned it into something darker. He pioneered yellow journalism, sensational headlines, half-truths, and outright lies. His papers whipped the public into war fever and helped push America into conflict with Spain. The power and fortune that followed let him buy 250,000 acres of prime California land. On a hill he called the Enchanted Hill, he began constructing his dream with architect Julia Morgan. For nearly 30 years they built, expanded, and never quite finished. La Casa Grande rises with twin towers inspired by a Spanish cathedral. Inside, guests walked on marble floors surrounded by genuine Renaissance tapestries and ancient Greek vases. Many pieces had murky origins. Rumors persist they were looted during times of European chaos. Hearst collected like a man possessed, buying entire rooms from crumbling castles overseas. The estate eventually included guest houses, tennis courts, gardens, and one of the most extravagant pools ever built. The Neptune pool looks like an ancient Roman fantasy carved into the hillside itself. Its marble temple facade and turquoise water hosted the most exclusive parties of the Jazz Age. Charlie Chaplin, Cary Grant, Winston Churchill, and dozens of Hollywood stars made the pilgrimage. Marion Davies, Hearst's longtime mistress, acted as the unofficial queen of these gatherings. Prohibition meant nothing here. Alcohol flowed while the rest of the country pretended to obey the law. Yet behind the laughter and clinking glasses, something far darker was brewing. In November 1924, a deadly weekend unfolded aboard Hearst's yacht, the Oneida. Film producer Thomas Ince boarded for a birthday celebration with Hearst, Davies, and Chaplin. Days later, Ince was dead. The official story was a heart attack, but multiple conflicting accounts quickly surfaced. One persistent rumor claims Hearst discovered Davies with Chaplin in a jealous rage. A gunshot intended for Chaplin supposedly struck Ince instead. Powerful friends, doctors, and studio bosses helped rewrite the story almost immediately. Hearst's own newspapers barely mentioned the death. The full truth has never emerged, fueling books, documentaries, and endless online debate even today. This same media machine had spent decades destroying reputations with fabricated scandals. The man who built paradise on a hill had plenty of blood on his hands in the court of public opinion. When the Great Depression hit, Hearst's empire began to crumble under massive debt. He was forced to auction off priceless art just to survive. The castle he poured his soul and fortune into was eventually donated to the state of California. Today, thousands of tourists walk the same halls once filled with stars and secrets. but some visitors and former staff say the house is not quiet after closing time. Whispers of a woman in white near the pools have been reported for decades. Others claim to hear laughter and piano music coming from empty guest houses late at night. There are also stories of the ghost of a zookeeper killed by one of Hearst's own exotic animals. His private zoo once held lions, tigers, and bears, many released or left behind when money ran out. The same excess that created breathtaking beauty also left scars on the land and in history. Orson Welles later modeled the mansion Xanadu in Citizen Kane, directly after Hearst Castle. Hearst used every connection he had to destroy the film before it could be released. He failed. The movie became a classic and forever tied the real man to his lonely, fictional counterpart. Both died, surrounded by treasures that could never buy peace or silence the whispers. Standing on the Enchanted Hill today, the marble still shines and the views remain spectacular. Yet something feels unsettled beneath the surface. This palace reveals the true cost of unchecked power, insatiable desire, and moral compromise. Every statue, every fountain seems to carry fragments of forgotten scandals and silenced voices. That is why houses like this continue to fascinate us. They show the glittering surface and the rot beneath at the exact same time. Hearst Castle proves that the most beautiful estates often carry the darkest stories. Its walls absorbed decades of laughter, intrigue, jealousy, power plays, and possibly murder. They continue guarding those secrets, even as new generations walk through them. If these stones could speak, what would they finally confess about the real price of excess? The story of William Randolph Hearst reminds us that behind every grand manor lies a very human tale, one of ego, love, power, and ultimately loneliness. That is why places like this whisper to us across time. They warn that fortune rarely brings peace, and that some palaces are built on bones. What other cursed or excessive estates should we explore next on Houses That Whisper? Drop your suggestions in the comments and tell me honestly, do you believe Hearst got away with murder? The more you research, comment, and share theories, the more these hidden histories surface.